What is up, guys? It's me, Alsco, here with another video. This time we're gonna talk about the main reasons why some games fail so soon after launching, some mistakes that is best for you to avoid. Every gamer knows at least one game that was so hyped up before its launch that everyone thought it was going to be so successful, but then shortly after its launch, it failed completely, miserably, and it lost its entire fan base in, let's say, maximum 6 months. So, what might be some of the reasons? Why do some games just lose their entire fan base so fast, so quickly? What did the game developers do wrong, or what went wrong in that area? In the following, some mistakes that usually some game developers do that cause the game to fail will be mentioned, so that the new game developers avoid doing them. We start off with some software problems that cause the games to fail. Firstly speaking, about the bad gameplays. It's for sure one of the main reasons why new games fail. It's all due to the fact how the game was developed. Usually companies that have low resources try to push themselves into creating a good game, an awesome game. But one thing is for sure, if you have low resources, you can never produce a complex game successfully. So let's say you have a $10,000 budget, you cannot produce a game like GTA. So it's better if you stick to a more simple game rather than trying to push yourself, trying to push your limits and do something extraordinary and at the end achieve nothing, just a failure. Moving on to bugs. Bugs are related to bad gameplay in a similar manner, but they are a bit different. It's when the game, even though it might look great, it produces some laggy features. Some parts of the game might respond more slowly than the others, and that might not be that much of a big deal when playing a single player game such as a story mode, but when it comes to competitive matchmaking, oh boy, everyone wants to have a game that it runs as smoothly as possible. So bugs should definitely be out of the question. Matchmaking problems. Nowadays, nearly every game is developed to be played online, and that is basically the most remarkable game feature a company can develop. So, if the matchmaking feature is not working properly, you are looking at losing your entire fan base in a matter of 24 hours, not even longer, and that's not even joking. Cheating loopholes. This problem is usually more visible in shooting games and is something ridiculous to happen right now with the advancement of technology. Usually top tier shooting games, when developing the game, they also develop an anti-cheating engine in order to block any kind of cheating in its gameplay. Cheats just ruin a game and they trigger gamers like nothing else. So not allowing them to enter the game, it's a must, and that is best done if you, like many game developers, develop an anti-cheating engine. Peer-to-peer matchmaking. This feature, to put it more simply, is a practice of players connecting to and relying on one another to maintain an online network, which makes it possible for game developers to not buy dedicated service for the game. Likewise, even me, when I'm explaining this, I can hear how bad it sounds. So, for nowadays gaming, this is a big no. So, in 99% of the cases, this will cause your game to flop. Lastly, wild tech requirements. I'm not so much a programmer to know about algorithms or how a video game is built, but I can say that whoever built Crysis, it's mad. The game still to this day burns GPUs like nothing. I mean, I'm just kidding because everyone loves Crysis. But what I want to point out is to be careful with what graphical details you develop your video game. In order to reach high number of gamers, it's better to make it possible that your game can be played by also mid-range PCs. So if you develop a game that requires crazy graphical requirements, then you're kind of burning yourself too, without even launching the game. Moving on to the second phase, where I want to talk about marketing inefficiency. Creating very high expectations through marketing campaigns before the launch of the game for the game to not be as advertised when it's launched will put you through massive problems. There are many games out there that their marketing campaigns, especially through their trailers of the video game, make them look amazing, just incredible before its launch. Though, if the video game doesn't look the same as in the trailer or ads that it was promoted before launch, it will cause a havoc to the game reviews and sales. Moving on to game updates. So, updates are sorts of marketing campaign inside the video game to make the players keep playing. The best example can be Fortnite updates, for example. They have listened to some weird ideas of their fans to include in the game some interesting skins, weapons, features. The reason why they listen to their fans is because Fortnite has been launched in 2017. Usually, video games are playable on average, let's say, maximum 2 years. So, continuous fun improvements, continuous fun updates must be done in order to keep the fans entertained. Interacting with your fans community. Interacting with players that play your game, of course, throughout social media is key, usually through Twitter. Listening to your fans' problems or ideas to further improve the game does not do harm. But the main thing is for your fans to feel like they are really part of the community. Even if you become a big conglomerate, answering your fans' questions is never a mistake. Always be humble and, more importantly, funny in social media while interacting with your player base. Moving on to the third chapter, where I'm going to talk about some extra expensive features that some game developers force, in a way or another, their gamers to buy. In this sense, I'm going to talk about some expensive DLC packages. They can range from unnecessary skins to actual game modes that are exclusive unless you pay for them. There is not a single game that has succeeded in the long run when it required its gamers to pay huge amounts of money for some random features. Overall, it's safe to say that making the game as simple as possible to play is necessary, even if there is a chance that you can literally get the game for free and play throughout all of its features and game modes for free. That would be only a positive note for you. Another cause for failure is the extra required subscriptions in order to play online. All console gamers know this feeling and they hate it. So if you have, for example, a PlayStation, it requires you to pay around $60 on a yearly basis just to have access to games online matchmaking, which is totally wrong. And for me personally, that's the reason why I left PlayStation and why I left the console industry. It is not that it is a huge amount to be paid because it's $60 in 12 months. But again, it feels like you are paying an electricity bill or some taxes. It just catches onto your nerves and you don't benefit anything from it, except for some video games that you get for free or in a discount that not even their owners remember when they launched them. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the last reason why I think some games fail, and that's the low creativity on game modes. Sometimes some game developer might simplify their game to an extreme level, such as offering only one game mode, and that badly affects the player base. In some cases, only the multiplayer mode is offered, but this is in most cases it's what gamers want basically. But if you are offering only the online modes, you have to really be creative and offer some creative features to it. For example, we can take FIFA. FIFA is a game that offers you a variety of online features, such as you can play online in Ultimate Team, you can play online in Seasons, you can play online in co-op career modes. So there are basically so many types of online modes. On top of that, there are also single player mode. So there is a mix between online and single player mode, which for me personally, it's highly recommended to all the game developers.